Hi, this is Cynthia Ortiz. These are the Charles Perry Stalker podcast. This is podcast number 2 for today, December 6th, 2021, Monday. But despite all the screaming and yelling, please leave me alone, please leave me alone, Mr. Perry has not left me alone. You're not getting it, sir. You keep wanting to know who told on you, but you're not understanding why you're getting told on. You're making everybody mad, sir. You're breaking the law. Peeping is a crime, stalking is a crime, hacking is a crime, sitting around making problems for everybody, menacing, the racketeering, the fraud, the perjury, the obstruction, the destruction of evidence, altering evidence. These are things that you just do every day and you expect everybody to cover it up for you. And this time that's not happening, is it? When you stalk, it's a crime in all 50 states. Hacking, it's a crime in all 50 states. Peeping is a crime in all 50 states, sir. It's not a date. You're making me mad. You're making everybody mad. Interstate commerce, interfering with that. Grand larceny with intent to coerce. You want to coerce me. You want me to lie. And I've said, no, I'm not going to lie. So what's happened since you've met me, since the McNamara email in 2015 and every day since, as you keep getting told on? The Mike Neely was drugged email, the I'm going to take her car email, on and on and on and on. The 9 call she's got 9 pages of phone calls within a few days, and she kept talking about you guys wanting a ringtone. How is that her crazy? You did exactly what she said. I mean, on and on and on. Mr. Perry, you're getting told on because you're pissing people off. When you went at me, everything in your life changed, didn't it? It ended as you knew it. All of a sudden, you keep getting caught because you're making people pissed off. It doesn't matter who told on you. What matters is why they're telling on you. Why they're telling on you is something that doesn't seem to click for you. You're offending everybody. I don't want to be peeped on. You're doing it against my will. Stop. Go find a real woman who wants to go on a date with you. A real live date, not some pretend imaginary date. Guys who can't get a date are guys that peep. What happened to your wife, Jackie? Where is she? Does she know what you do with your time? Do your kids know? I mean, are you lying to them about how you spend your time all day? Don't contact me. Don't peep on me. Don't hack me. I don't want to hear what you have to say. I didn't ask you. You were not invited into my home. You were not invited into my life. I moved twice to get away from you. This isn't hard to understand, sir. It's very easy. You need to keep up with everybody else and go be normal. Please get out of my life. I'm going to do the disclaimer. Use the but for standard. But for his harassment and stalking and peeping and on and on and on. Everything I just said. Attempted coercion. He's trying to force himself on me. He's trying to force something. That's coercion. It's illegal. You cause duress when you peep, when you hack, when you contact me after I've told you to quit it. Leave me alone. So you piss everybody off, and then you get told on and told on and told on and told on and told on. And the who doesn't matter, it's the why. So but for all that, we wouldn't do the podcast or anything. There wouldn't be anything to do. Believe me, I have other shit I'd rather be doing. Nobody asked you what you think. You continue to try to tell me what you think. I did not ask you. You were not asked. Apply the reasonable person standard. Any reasonable person in my shoes would do exactly what I'm doing. I have 40 police officers that are guiding and directing this whole thing. You have no idea who they are, but I will tell you this. They know you've been calling looking for who they are. If they wanted your money, they would have told you who they are, wouldn't they have? If I wanted your money, I would have taken it. I don't want your money. I want my money, and I want you to get out of my life and never contact me again. You need to respect my rights and wishes. So, also, we assert all constitutional rights. That's the disclaimer. Use allegedly. Nobody's been found guilty in a court of law. So I've called Mr. Perry Connie Curry repeatedly. So I'll give you a little background on Connie Curry. Connie Curry is a woman in Lubbock that was involved in campaigns. What extent she was involved in campaigns is still unclear to me. I still have no idea. What I know is that she would often get in a voluntary situation and help. How much she was paid, I don't know. I know that she was very good friends with Mr. Powell. And so that, just keep that in mind or she said she was. So I had a couple of campaigns. I was at an event, and Ms. Curry had been making some phone calls on her own accord, and pissed some people off on one of the campaigns I was working on, and she had to be told to cut it out because she was not really helping. She's acting in a voluntary, capacity, not a paid worker. She's making phone calls and getting, I guess, rude about what she wanted people to support, and so the guy that I was working for was getting these complaints about her. He called me and he said, "Can you please ask her to stop helping? She's really not helping. She's really just making everybody mad." So I did, and that didn't work. And at that point, actually, we called Mr. Perry and asked him to step in and held her to get off the phone. You're making people mad. Subsequent to that, I went to an event, and I had about 2 or 3 people, friends of mine, walk up and ask me, "What are you working on now?" And I told them I'm working on this campaign and this campaign and this campaign. And they said, "Yeah, so you're pretty busy then." And Ms. Curry overheard that and came running over and inserted herself into the conversation and said, "Yeah, we're busy." And I said, "Yeah, I've got about, I don't know, 50 or so phone calls a day. I've got both my phones are going. I've hardly had a chance to eat or pee." And she said, "Yeah, we're busy. It's 100 calls. I mean, whatever mine was, my 50 calls became, quadrupled when it was her. And I'm looking at her like, you got to be shitting me with this, right? You're not a pay. You're not even. I don't even know what the hell you're talking about. You're not working with me. I'm on paid campaigns. I don't know what the hell you're doing, but we're not working together. You're making it sound like we're working together. We're not. You're a butt in, is what you're doing right now because nobody asked you. They asked me, "What are you working on?" She overheard it, came in, and butt in. So that's part of when we call Mr. Perry butt in Bertha or Connie Curry. That's what we're talking about. Um, Secondly, so listen, that's very rude to do that. It doesn't make anybody look cool to go and try to, I gotta, one up you. And nobody still to, I mean, nobody, by the time she walked away from that conversation, nobody knew what the hell she was working on. When she walked away, I looked at everybody and I was like, she's not working on anything I'm working on. So I don't know what the hell that was all about. I don't have any idea what she's doing. And everybody just kind of laughed, like, "What a weirdo, what the hell is that?" I mean, she's jealous and she's got to keep up with you, or I mean, what the fuck is that? Sometimes somebody's insecure, they do shit like that, um, and you're just kind of, everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, what? That's so immature to behave that way," and not something that I understood why the hell she did that. And so when Mr. Perry inserts himself into my life and he starts telling me where to work, when to work out, where to work out, you're not invited into my life. No one has called you, Mr. Perry, and invited you into my life or asked you what you think. Any more than this guy was asked what he thought about her clothes. What she's screaming at him is, "Leave me alone." Not, "What do you think about what I'm wearing?" We're not friends. We're not a couple. Where I work is not your business. It doesn't concern you. Mind your own business. When I work out isn't your business. It doesn't concern you. Where I work out, it's not your business. It doesn't concern you. When I do any of that, when I work, when I play, when I work out, when I do whatever it is I do, sir, it doesn't concern you, and I'm doing that for me, not you. You are not to be in my life. Nobody invited you into my life. You're doing exactly what Connie Curry did that day. It's pathetic. It's an embarrassment. I've asked you to get out of my life. She asked him to leave her alone. She did not ask him what he thought of her clothes. He's making a fool of himself. He looks pathetic. This right here is stalking and harassment and menacing, and that's what you're doing. And when you do it, sir, you're pissing everybody off, and you get told on and told on and told on and told on, and who's telling isn't irrelevant. What's relevant is why. Why are they telling? Why are we getting this information that you keep wanting to know? The McNamara email. Mike Neely was drugged. When you kill a cop, I'm going to tell you something. When you kill a police officer, any police officer across this whole United States of America, from anywhere, can look at Mike Neely's case and do exactly what I did. And see, plain as day, he did not do that murder. There's no fucking way he could have done it. Whether you know that man or not, and I did not know him. I did not know him at all. I met him when I filed the police report 6 days before, and the timing of that murder was very suspicious to everyone. You kept threatening my car. I have the August 19th thing. I'm going to have our car towed and sold. It's not legal, but I'm going to have it towed and sold before she figures that out. And then my car's getting tampered with and tampered with and tampered with and tampered with. I didn't call them, but then all of a sudden I did. It was time. I thought. And it took me an hour to make that decision, and I usually don't do that. Usually it takes me a minute, about 5 minutes to make a decision. And then I go. And I don't call a bunch of people and ask them what they think. That's not leading, that's following. That's not making a decision. That's following someone else's decision. I don't need anybody's permission. I make a decision and then I go. I made that decision that day to make a phone call because my car had something wrong, had something done to it. And I told them, Mr. Neely, Officer Neely, and Officer Gibson, I don't know who did this. No one saw. It's possible it's related to a stalker that I have. He does shit like this. And I don't know anyone else that does, but that doesn't mean for sure he did. 50-50 chance. 50-50 chance. We're all in court right now. By the way, one of the men I'm suing has his employees staying right here next to me. It doesn't mean they did it. It has to be investigated. Chances are good. That's probably something you should know. That's probably somewhere you should look, Officer Neely. But that doesn't mean it's them. We don't know right now, do we? That's what police investigations are for, isn't it? So nobody's name was put on the paper, on the report. All I put on the report was, here's what happened. It could be them, it may not. I don't know. I didn't see the guy that did it. So I have no idea. That's your job. You're the police. But only 6 days later, a tragedy happened. So I'm going to tell you something. When you have police officers all over the country, Mr. Perry, they're not stupid. They're not stupid. Are you paying every cop in the whole country? I mean, when a police officer is lost and another one is almost lost and framed, do you not think that resonates with cops all over the country? Because if you do that one time and you get away with it, you do it to all. When are you going to do it again and get away with it? Who's next? Which jurisdiction are you going to do something in? And when they try to put you in jail, like you should be in jail, because recidivism is very high with stalkers, serial killers, and guys like you. You're basically mafia. Texas Mafia, they used to call you that in Mannford. Your little black SUV that I asked David about, and then that Ms. Bradley mentioned. The black SUV with Texas plates. I'm going to tell you something. I was sitting in the back of that place out by the lake. There was a concert at the restaurant at Freddy's next door. And this black SUV comes driving around. And the guy next to me said, oh, there's the owner of the I'm not going to say the guy's name. There's the owner of the hotel driving through here. I said, yeah. And then he got closer. And then we both were like, no, that's not him. And as he passed through, we could all see the Texas plates. And then he goes, oh, it's the Texas Mafia coming through here looking for you. Everyone knew. It's common knowledge. I asked David Robertson about it before all the whole false arrest bullshit. So this was something that was commonly discussed in Mannford. So why do you think you're kidding anybody? When you hurt a cop, you hurt all cops. Because if you'll do it to one, you'll do it to all of them. And you won't think twice about it, especially if you get away with it. Or if it looks like temporarily you're getting away with it. You do it to one, you do it to all. So do you not think this resonates with police all over the place that can look at Mike's case and come up with the same thing I come up with? And when you guys start getting on the phone asking a bunch of questions, what do you think that does in their head? Yeah, doesn't go over big. When you start messing with me, you piss me off. I come from 3 generations of police. That's my family. Whether I knew Mike Neely or not, that's my family. You hurt someone in my family. You do it to one, you'll do it to all. I have 40 of them helping me. Charles, shut up. When you mess with me, when you contact me, when you cause drama for me, when you cause a problem for me, you get told on. This was that, wasn't it? It's not legit, but I'm going to have her car towed and sold before she figures that out. And you want to know who told me that, don't you? That's not the issue, sir. It's not relevant. What's relevant is why they told. You're hurting people, and everybody's sick and tired of you. And the more you mess with me, the more you contact me, the more you peep and hack me, the more drama and hardship and loss you cause me, you get told on, and told on, and told on, and told on, and never an invitation. You make all my skin crawl, and nobody cares what you think. You are not asked. I've asked you to stay the fuck away from me. Do not invade my privacy ever again. Get out. Turn your cameras off. Get them out of my home. Get out of my phone. Get out of my computers. Get off me. And do not contact me or anybody else I know again. And this is another legal demand. It is a cease and desist. And if you refuse, you can count on it. Take it to Vegas and bet on it. It's going to piss off all the wrong people, and you're going to continue to get told on until you're in jail. When I said you're not getting away with it this time, are you? Are you? Because you've done this stuff all your life and you hid it and nobody knew. But then when you met me, everything changed. Life as you knew it ended. Didn't it? All of a sudden, you're for the first time having to ask, who told on me pretty much every day? Who told? And then this morning, there was my guy says, Charles thinks you helped him. He has no idea what you just did, does he? He has no idea what we just did. You need to keep up with everybody else and understand the words said to you and go be normal. You work. You don't need to be worrying about what I'm working. You need to go do your work. You have constituents to see. You have an accounting firm to run. You have your family to hang out with. And if you be busy doing that, there's nothing else to tell, is there? You don't need a cover up or a lie, do you? You go be normal. There's nothing to say. And you need to keep up with the rest of us and be normal. And stop butting into when I'm working, when I work out, why don't you go exercise? Why don't you go run your business and you work? And stop butting into when I'm doing in my life and my work. What about the way that guy's dressed? What about the way this guy's dressed? Look how sloppy and, trailer park he looks. He's so worried about her clothes. What about his? Not minding in his own business, is he? You're no different, Mr. Perry. Not one bit different. Not even a kind of different. You're the same. Okay, so let's get to the next thing. Last night, this strange man in a unmarked car that looks like one of those old police cars. I mean, still had lights on it, or although they were kind of in a different place than normal. Starts kind of chasing me around I doubled back and he followed me and it was creepy. I went for a walk and he followed me. When I doubled back, he followed. Normally you would think, well, maybe he's just going in the same direction, right? Well, because I have had this crap like this happen to me so much, I have a way to test it. I start doubling back. I'll start going a different way than I planned. I'll start, ditching and dodging. And then as they stay behind me, now I'm being followed. This is not just, coincidentally we're going the same direction. Now this man's following me. So that happened last night, and it was creepy as fuck. This person has been around my property, which, by the way, there's some no trespassing signs all over the property. So this guy's coming around, and even some of the neighbors had commented that he's creepy. Who is this guy? He doesn't come through and stop and visit with anyone. He just drives through the parking lot in one area, and then he comes around where I am in another area. So everybody's kind of wondering, what the fuck are you doing? What is your business here? If you don't have business here, you're trespassing, and you don't need to be on our property or anywhere near me. Okay, so I'm asking Tulsa Police, because he's in an old police car, and I'm asking Tulsa Police on a tweet, and the Broken Arrow Police, is this your guy? Does this guy work for you? Does he have a legitimate reason to be here? It's a question. There's no accusations being made at this point. Right now I'm just asking the question. And I asked the same thing of Perry. Is this your guy? So there's no assertions being made here, Mr. Perry. It's a question. It's an inquiry of both you and the Broken Arrow and Tulsa Police. He might have I don't know the guy. He might have a completely legit reason for doing what he's doing. If he doesn't, he'd better stop, right? Because trespassing, I can file a complaint. If he's trespassing, can't I? If he has no legit reason to be anywhere near me, then he doesn't need to be anywhere near me, does he? I can ask the question. No police report's been filed. Nothing's been reported right now because not enough information is available for me to do that. I don't feel there's enough information. I don't know if he works for you, Mr. Perry, and he's creeping around like you had those guys do in Mannford. like we documented in Mannford. You know, you are a stalker. Remember that the initial allegation is Charles Perry is a stalker. We have Mickey James. We have Pinto. We have Terry Wagner. We had Joel. We had a bunch of men that came and began to speak to me. Came where I was. I don't know. I don't know them. Come where I was, and begin to ask me questions or make comments or just have a conversation with me on your behalf. Mickey James said he signed an NDA and he had been watching behind the scenes. He had said it flat out. And that maybe it's worth the risk to kill me for you to have the suspicion of murder on you. That's what he flat said. It was in a text. I didn't go where Mr. James was. Mr. James came where I was. He hunted me down. He found out where I was working, and he came in and talked to me, just like Pinto did, just like everybody else did. These people work for you. Nobody's going where you are. You haven't had damage to your car, have you? Nope. Nobody's looking for your car dealer and to find out when you're going to go see your car guy. Nobody's asking where you live. I don't care. I don't give a shit where you live. I really don't. That doesn't really mean the police guys that help me know, but I don't know. And I don't care. It's not relevant to me. I don't need to know that. They might need to know that. I do not need to know that. I have no idea where you live. Don't care. I really don't care. I don't know what your schedule is. I don't care. Unless it pertains to a civil or criminal matter when you're where I am. But I did move twice to get away from you, did I not? I've asked you to leave me alone and not contact me again, haven't I? So I left. I think you're pathetic. I left. I think that when you continue to contact a woman who's asked you for a decade not to, you got a problem in your head. Your mind is fucked up. You got a serious mental problem. You're delusional. You have an imaginary relationship. It doesn't exist to me at all, sir. I don't like you. I've made that very clear. I've gone to great lengths to avoid you, to get away from you. I don't want anything to do with you. I wouldn't take $5,000 from Pinto to be creeped out for a few hours. I don't like you. I don't want anything to do with you. You are no different than this man right here. At all. You're not different. You're the same. Stalking is a crime in all 50 states, and nobody asked you what you thought. And you typing in my phone, go work, go to nursing school, work for this guy, work for that guy, work here, work there, work now, work then, go work out, go exercise. Again, nobody asked you any more than he was asked about what she was wearing. You're just Connie Curry. You're just a butt-in. I didn't invite you here. I came here to get away from you. I've sued you, sir, 4 times. 4 times I've asked judges to make you, 11 times I've asked judges to give me an order that prohibits you from contacting me or anybody I know. I don't want to, and Judge Eyrick did. It's not in the written order, but he gave you a verbal order from the bench. It goes without saying. You should already know this at your age. Don't contact her. Don't contact her. Again, in the bond conditions, you had to admit that you were stalking in order to agree to stop. Lucky Miller said, these bond conditions don't look like any bond conditions I've ever seen. This looks like a cover-up negotiation. He's agreed to leave her alone. First, in order to agree to leave her alone, he had to admit he's not. So that's why that looks like that. That constitutes a contract for you. It doesn't for me. I'm under duress. Oklahoma law says any contract formed while someone is incarcerated isn't legal. They're under duress. But you weren't. You weren't in jail. You didn't have anybody after you. You didn't have anybody threatening you. So, when you did that, you agreed, you formed a contract that you were not going to contact me again because I had said, I don't want to hear from this man ever the fuck again. I don't want to hear his voice. I don't want to talk to him. I want him to go away, and I never want to hear from him again. So, Mr. Perry, let me say it to you again, because you're very slow, and you don't get stuff. So everybody has to repeat themselves, and it's extremely irritating. It's extremely irritating. It's a very, 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 very irritating for me to have to say the same thing again and again and again and again, and you're still not getting it. When you bother me, when you contact me in any form at all, sir, When you invade my privacy and peep and hack and jam things up and cause problems and drama, when you cause any kind of problem for me at all, when you try to tell me what you think and you were not asked, you piss everybody off. And the result of that is you're told on and told on and told on. My guys have an easy time getting information. And that's never happened to you before. Shut the fuck up and get off me. I don't want to hear from you. Leave me the hell alone. Shut up and go away. Nobody asked you what you think. My schedule isn't your concern. You go work. You go to the gym. You go, do whatever the fuck you want to do. And butt out of my life. Butt the fuck out of my life. Nothing in my life concerns you. None of it is any of your business any more than this guy. Her life is not his business. You're the same as that guy. Exactly the same. You're not one bit different at all. Please, leave me the fuck alone. Leave me the fuck alone. Leave me the fuck, sir, alone. Leave me alone. Now, I'm going to show you this. We're getting so irritated. Listen, everybody is getting extremely irritated with you. Very, very, very sick and tired of having to deal with you. You're a menace and you're an irritant. Okay? So the guy that followed me the other night, I basically asked Tulsa Police and Broken Arrow Police, is this guy a reserve officer or something? Is he legit? Do you have any legit reason to be following me around like that? I doubled back. So he did too. That's following me. Why is he doing that? If this is not your guy, then we have a problem. And then I'm asking Mr. Perry, maybe it's your guy. Is it your guy? Or is it just some random guy? Why is he coming around me a lot? He doesn't just come around. He didn't just do it this one time. He does it all the time. But he'll drive around where I live. That is the first time that he's followed me in the car, where he's driving where I'm walking. So, and then doubling back when I double back. That was creepy. So, I don't know, Tulsa Police, you guys listen to this. If he's your guy and he's legit, I need to know why. Why is he doing that? Why is he doing that? What do you have somebody doing that to? Who is he and what's he doing? And I'm going to ask it and have him not do that again. If y'all need to talk to me, you know where I am. Come talk to me. But I don't need somebody doing that shit. That was weird. It wasn't professional. It wasn't like a police officer. I see police officers all over the place. They don't do that. They don't act like he did. Like I said, if I go into Quick Trip, half the time there's a cop in there. There's just, the chances are high with all the police officers in Tulsa and all the Quick Trips we have, there's going to be one cop in there. So, I can interact with a police officer anytime I want, right? Unless I'm told not to. But what my point is that anytime I walk in a Quick Trip and there's a police officer, but for the one time I was told not to go to Quick Trip, the conversation, the guy doesn't chase me around Quick Trip. The guy is a perfectly normal guy. He's not chasing me around the Quick Trip. He's not following me outside. None of that happens. He's in there getting his thing, and I'm in there getting my thing, and we all leave. And it's a perfectly normal, professional interaction. There's nothing weird about it. This last night was weird. So I don't know whose guy that was, but he didn't act like when I usually interact with a cop in a Quick Trip. There's a lot of cops in Quick Trips, or Walmart. Walmart has the same thing. Usually have off-duty Tulsa PD working as security at Walmart. So the same thing. I've never ever had one follow me around ever. It's very professional. They're very nice. They're very cool. This guy was different. This guy was creepy. This didn't seem like a professional thing of a sanctioned law enforcement anything. I don't know what the hell he was doing. But don't do that again. You want to talk to me? Come talk to me like professional. If that's your guy, no more of that. No more coming around me. Get somebody else. You want to talk to me? Get somebody else that's normal to come talk to me, that's professional, that knows how to act right and not creepy. If that's your guy, Charles, get him off me. Get him the fuck off me. My thing was an inquiry. That's it. There's no police reports being filed. Tulsa Police, Broken Arrow. I hope you know that. I'm asking a question. Is that really, is that when I'm not filing anything. I have no idea yet. Was he legit or not? Well, it doesn't do me any good to file a police report if that's a legit guy or, was supposed to be legit until he handled it the way he did. That was so fucking weird. So when I was in Mannford, so we had people pulling up like that or driving through the parking lot and taking pictures of me. And Mr. Perry, shut up. Mr. Perry, when you contact me, it makes everybody mad and you start getting told on. I don't care what you think. Mr. Perry, he likes typing in my computer. Mr. Perry, he stops though. I guess he hears me. He shouldn't hear me, but I guess he does because a lot of times when I stop the podcast, it's recorded. This is not live. Then he'll stop. So when you contact me, Mr. Perry, in any form, sir, we're not a couple. Stop bullshitting yourself. And you're caught. You started getting caught when you went at me. When you contact me, when you cause a problem or hardship or loss for me, you piss everybody off and you get told on and told on and told on. And then you want to know who told. And who told doesn't matter. Why they told matters. You're committing a crime against me. I don't want to hear from you. You're peeping, you're hacking against my will. Stop. Don't send anybody around me. Stop. Look, this is one of the other people that lived there. She was sick of and tired of it too. Charles, we're all sick and tired of you. You're drama queen, you're soap opera. We are sick and tired of your crime. We are all tired of your crime. We are all tired of dealing with your weirdo problem. We are all tired of dealing with your lack of impulse control. We are all sick of your crime. Stop. Stop. Please, stop. Leave me alone. I didn't ask you what you think. I never asked you. What I asked you to do is get the fuck out of my life. Get your nose out of my business. Worry about your work. Worry about your workout plan. Worry about your diet. Worry about your family. And stay the fuck out of mine. I didn't invite you here. You've not received an invitation. You've received lawsuits, 4 of them. Get off me, lawsuits. Get the fuck off me. I'm not attracted to you. I think you're repulsive. God, the repeat, we're tired of it. Everybody's sick of you. That's why. Okay, so she's expressing like this was unusual. She called Lucky 3 times about this kind of stuff. This person that I described last night, the neighbors have complained too. What's that guy doing here? It's creepy. He's just driving through the parking lot like a weirdo. What the fuck does he want? Right, what does he want? So if that's a legit guy, Tulsa Police, Broken Arrow Police, you need to have it sit him down and explain how you are to conduct yourself in law enforcement. It's not like that, where you creep everybody out. What's he doing here? Why do we don't have, I'd rather you send a regular patrol guy through here, not that, whatever the fuck that is. It was an old police car, plates, tags, C74 was the first part of it. I didn't get the whole thing. What I did last night is when he did what he did, I took off to get my phone. I didn't have my phone with me. I was just going on a walk. So I took off to get my phone. I'm going to get a picture of it. Well, by then he was gone. I figured he'd follow me. So, but I was able to get that part of the plate, but I wasn't going to hang around without my phone. I wanted a picture of it, just like I got of him. So just like this stalker girl got, I need proof of this. I need proof of this. I need proof of this. The same thing, there's another TikTok girl. There was what was she? A personal trainer that had a guy stalking her in the gym there. And she said the same thing. I need proof of this. I need proof of this. So police, when we start trying to get our phones, we need proof of this. Because you tell us we need proof of this. And a courtroom tells us we need proof of this. We can't go. We get that you need it. We get that you can't go before a jury and tell a jury, this girl's being stalked. We want you to find this guy guilty. You need something to give the jury so they can see that, yeah, that's what's happening. Okay, so we get that. That's what the pictures are for. But I didn't get the guy's whole plate because I was taking off to get my phone to get proof of it. Mr. Perry, please shut up. I didn't ask you what you thought, did I? You were not asked. What I asked you to do is to cease and desist all forms of all contact. Get the fuck out of my computer and my life. Get the fuck out of it. Leave me alone. Shut the hell up and go away. You're pissing everybody off. That's why you keep getting told on. Leave me alone. It doesn't matter who told on you. What matters is why. Please keep up with the rest of us. Everyone else can get that. Boom. Nobody has to explain it. So it's irritating that God. Okay, so that's basically what's happening last night. This guy's been through the parking lot and around me, and the neighbors are complaining, and I'm complaining. I did talk to the manager about it. This was not something that was new. I had sat down with the manager and described the vehicle, and then I talked to the security guy, and we actually just got a new security guy. So the old security guy knew that there was a problem with this person coming through the parking lot. This wasn't new. This isn't old. It's just this was the first time he started following me when I go for a walk. And I guess I didn't, when I started to leave, he left the property, it looked like, or the property near, I can't describe, I'm not going to describe too much, nearby. Where I live, there's no trespassing signs. The property that kind of is adjacent, there's no trespassing signs. There's no trespassing signs all over the place. The way that he drove in, it looked like he left, and then as I'm walking, he comes back and follows me. He had drove down the street, actually, and came back to where I was, and then started following me. So I doubled back to see, is he following me, or is he just going the same way? Because he had actually started going the opposite direction of where I was going. So he's going the opposite direction of me, and I'm walking, and then all of a sudden here he comes back around. So I'm going, well, did he change his mind? Is he just, the fuck is wrong with this fucker? So I double back to see, well, he follows me. So he was following me. This was not, we just happened to be going the same way. It's not that. And I do the same thing when I'm driving. If there's somebody that I feel like is following me, and I've been followed quite a lot, I know how to ditch a tail. I know how to pull over and see. I know how to make a turn and a turn and a turn and a turn and see, is this guy following me, or is it we're just going the same direction and he happens to be behind me longer than I'm comfortable with. I have ways to tell, am I being followed, or is this just some random guy that happens to be going the same way I am? I have ways that if I am being followed, I know how to ditch a tail. I have had a guy chase me for 10 minutes all over Tulsa. And I can ditch a tail just fine. So I didn't call Tulsa Police. I didn't freak out about it. Actually, a Tulsa police officer drove right in front of me. I blazed right by. I didn't even ask for his help. So the only thing I wanted to know from Tulsa Police and Broken Arrow is this your guy? And if he is, somebody needs to have a conversation with him about how to act like a police officer the right way, or a reserve officer, or whatever the hell he is. That's not how you act. You don't chase people like that. You want to talk to me, you come out of your vehicle and you talk to me like a fucking professional. That's all there is to it. Just like the same way every other police officer acts around me at Walmart or Quick Trip or whatever, or that comes around me for another call. They've had police around here. In fact, there was one guy that came by himself on a domestic, and I kind of, I was like, dude, I think you need a backup. These things scare me. There's a lot of police that get killed on domestic calls, and you don't know what you're walking into. Maybe you should wait for another guy. So, they know I feel that way, that it's not, I come from police, 3 generations of police. How else do you think I'm going to think? I'm going to think like that, because that's how I'm raised to think. I don't know any other way to think. I don't like it when Tulsa Police shows up around me, and there's one guy, and it's a domestic dispute, and I really feel like they need 2, at least 2. So, it's unnerving for me. But anyways, that's beside the point. And it's even more unnerving for me, maybe because of Lucky and Mike, because I know that Mike did not kill Lucky. Everyone knows that. I don't know who the fuck you guys think you're fooling. I don't think you understand, everybody, that you pissed off when you did that. I really don't think you understand how many people you pissed off when you did that. And my coming to Mike's side has resonated with a lot of people. And they're not going to tell you that. They want you to shut up and go away. They're going to tell you what you want to hear so that you'll shut up and go away. Do you understand? You're a threat. When you threaten one, you threaten all. So I've stood up for Officer Neely because I believe he didn't do it. I believe he couldn't have. I don't know the man. I don't know him. But I looked at the evidence, and the evidence doesn't tell me that he did it. The evidence tells me he didn't. My guys start digging, and they're telling me he was drugged. He was not treated for being knocked out in a fight. He was treated for being drug overdosed. And I knew it before it hit the docket, before that was public, before anybody else said it. Because when we are starting to look at the evidence, Mr. Perry, it didn't add up to the story that we were being told. And I'm not stupid. I don't just take when somebody goes, oh, it's this way. I don't go, oh, okay, I'll just stick my finger out my nose and believe you. That's not my way. I'm raised by 3 generations of cops. My way is I'm going to sit here and I might tell you, oh, okay, sure. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to check your story out. Trust but verify. I'm going to check out what you're saying. Because I'm thinking, maybe that's true, maybe it's not. Let's find out. Trust but verify. I've had egg on my face before because I believed the wrong thing. I have. I'm not going to let that happen. I wanted to find out what happened. Everybody suspected y'all immediately. Everybody. It was 6 days later. Why would we not? You had already tried to kill me twice. Why would we not suspect you first? We did. Everybody out there did. Everybody out there wondered, what in the fuck is going on here? So, once we start wondering about that, my guys start digging and they get me a call. He was drugged. He didn't do it. He couldn't have. He slept through it. That's why he doesn't have anything on him. That's why there's not a mark on him. That's why in this thing, there's nothing on the guy. He wasn't in a fight. So, do you think all cops everywhere can't do what I did? Do you think everybody's just dumb like you? Now, when you told on, Mr. Perry, it is because you just pissed everybody off contacting me because you've been told to cut it the fuck out, haven't you? Look, I don't know what the deal is with the Lubbock Police. Hang on a second. I don't have a lot of love for Lubbock Police. Hang on. All right, now you got this situation. So, the wife of the guy in the green shirt, by the way, I don't know any of the people involved in this. None of them. I didn't know anybody involved in this deal. Thank God. So the guy in the green shirt was murdered at this altercation, and you can see basically he came up to get his kid. There's a court order that says he had the right to have his kid at 3:15. The ex-wife violated the order. The kid wasn't there, so he starts threatening more legal action. He was yelling a little bit, but he wasn't swinging his arms around. He's unarmed. He doesn't have a weapon on him. The guy in the black shirt, Kyle Carruth, who happens to be the ex-husband of a judge. Basically, the guy in the green shirt, his name is Chad Reed. His ex-wife, Christina Reed, had an affair with the guy in the black shirt. The guy in the black shirt's married to a judge, or was. So they're skanking around. And so he goes, Chad in the green shirt goes to get his kid, and the Christina doesn't have him ready or there or available as per the court order. He's clearly going to be upset. I would be. He's yelling, I'm going to take you to court. I'm going to subpoena everybody. And the guy in the black shirt goes inside and doesn't call 911, that's what I would have done. I would have said, if you don't mind, please leave, and I'll bring the kid over. I'll be there now half an hour or an hour. Or the kid is I guess the kid was at her mom's. The kid's at their mom's. Why don't you go pick him up? Just easy as that. No problem. No altercation. Nothing. But he didn't do that. He goes inside and he gets his gun. And then he shoots at Chad's feet. At the point when he shoots at Chad's feet, Chad starts to try to take the gun away from him. Wouldn't you? You got somebody shooting at your feet? What are they shooting at next? Are you not going to try to take the gun away? So he tries to take the gun away. Chad breaks away and shoots him twice. And the guy in the black shirt's claiming self-defense. And there's no way that's true. There's no way that's true. Because this guy's unarmed. He's not been a danger. He's not armed. He's not swinging his fists around. He's not threatening violence. He's threatening a lawsuit. I came to get my kid. My kid's not here. I think maybe we need to be back in court. And we don't know how many times that had happened, where he's going to pick up his kids and they're not there. You know, when the judge tells you, you deliver your child to the other person at such and such time, you better have your fucking kid to the other person at such and such time. And I really don't have a lot of patience for parents that don't comply with that stuff. My ex-husband and I never even went by the court order. If my ex-husband wanted to see my son, my son went over. We never fought about that. He'd call me and say, I'd like to take Dennis this weekend. Sure, come get him. We didn't even go by the court order. Whenever he wanted to see his kid, he came to see his kid. That's his dad. Why would we not let him see his son? I mean, golly, why fight over shit like that? Be good parents to the kid, and this murder never needed to happen. Never needed to happen. And the wife of Chad in the green shirt thinks that maybe it was a premeditated murder, and she might be right. Because none of it made any sense. The guy's not threatening anything but a lawsuit. He's unarmed. He's not swinging his fist. He's yelling because he's upset. His kid's not there. I would be too. Now, probably if it were me and I came there and my child's not there, instead of yelling and screaming like he did, what I probably would have done is first find out, where can I get my child? And if I'm not told where I can get my child, I'm going to call 911 and I'm going to have the police come in and enforce my court order. And that's it. This person's in violation of a court order. My child is supposed to be here. I need the child produced right now. And if that didn't work, then we just go to court. I mean, this guy, the green shirt guy, all he did is threaten court, which is, anybody would do that. You're not complying with the court order. I think we need to go back to court and let the judge know you're not complying with the court order. So for Mr. Chad with the black shirt to come out with a gun was weird. It was fucking weird. They didn't, So what happened here is, again, you have Tulsa Police letting Mr. Chad here get away with murder. Why would you do that? How long have you covered up for Mr. Perry? How many deaths do you already know about that he did or had something to do with, and you didn't do anything about it? I mean, I'm just curious. I think we all are. Because he's reoffending, and now he's killing cops in Oklahoma. Isn't he? So maybe that's on you too. Because these guys, the rate of recidivism is high. Isn't it? Mr. Perry, you need to shut up. Nobody asked you what you think. You were asked to leave me alone, weren't you? When you don't leave me alone, that's when you keep getting told on and told on and told on and told on. And it doesn't matter what Lubbock Police think, does it? Doesn't matter. It's not who's telling that's important. It's why are they telling on you? Because you're pissing them off. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. You have no right to be here. You have no legal right to be here. I don't want you here. You're here against my will. Nobody invited you. Get the fuck out of my life. Do not contact me again. When you do, you get told on and told on and told on and told on. So stop bothering me if you don't like to be told on. So who else? I mean, what's the deal with the Barney Fifes in Lubbock or whatever the hell that is? Corruption. What is it? Is it Barney Fife or is it corruption? I mean, the whole world has seen this, wondering why this guy's not in jail. Why isn't he in jail? Everybody wants to know that. Why is this guy not in jail? Do you think they don't wonder about the same thing about Mr. Perry? If our guys weren't after somebody else that he's working with, he would be. And it doesn't mean he's never going to be. It means it's taking a little longer than I'd like. I don't see the whole picture. My guys do. There's 40 cops Charles can't find. But I'm going to tell you something. When you kill one, Charles, they all take it personal. And when you frame one, they all take it personal. And you guys have been trying to put me in jail because you want me shut up. You've been trying to do it again. We all get it. Duly noted for the record. Duly noted for the record. There was no police report filed, Mr. Perry, just an inquiry made. Is this person coming around me legitimate or not? If he's legitimate, he's very unprofessional. He needs to be talked to about how he's conducting himself. And if he's not legitimate, he doesn't need to come up here anymore. Right? Mr. Perry, I'm going to say it to you for one last time. Do not contact me again at all. I can't stand it. I do not want to hear from you. I do not get happy. You are not invited. You're not an invited guest in my life. You make me feel raped. I said no to you. I left. I moved twice. I've sued you 4 times. That means I don't want anything to do with you, and I don't give a shit what you think. I really don't. Stop butting into things that don't concern you. You go worry about when you work. You go worry about when you work, where you work, how you work. You go worry about your own workout plan. You go worry about your own family. And you stay the fuck out of my business. Don't contact me. Don't cause a problem for me. Don't cause drama. Don't cause loss. Don't cause hardship. And don't slander me again to anybody. Because every time you do, what happens then, sir, since the McNamara email of 2015, is you piss people off. And then you get told on and told on and told on and told on and told on. Don't ask me again who told. That's not even relevant. What's relevant is why they told. You're fucking with the wrong people. You're fucking me over. We're all sick and tired of dealing with you. Shut the hell up and get away from me. Thank you. Please keep up with everybody else and just go be normal.